Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Nick here, back with a brand new video. First and foremost, I hope that you guys are all having an amazing day today. Today is officially Saturday. The market is looking pretty good overall. It is currently only about 3 a.m. my time, but the market is looking pretty good, right? Now, we do know that the weekend's usually pretty bad overall for crypto. Pretty much crashes every Sunday or even sometimes Saturdays too. So we really got to analyze what's going to happen over this weekend to really see PA play out and see where we are headed after the fact. But nonetheless, before we get into this video, I do just want to say if you guys are enjoying the cryptocurrency news and videos and content, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on, as I am pretty much grinding every single day to give you guys nothing but the best of content. So let's jump into this. So first and foremost, obviously you guys know that I love Hbar. We currently broke back into the top 50. We were pretty much at 54. That was pretty much like about 3 days ago, I believe. We are currently up 2%, which is nothing crazy. We are only still under 24 cents. Now, as you guys know, I'm still very bullish on this project. We're still seeing a ton of integrations happening on Hedera. We are seeing a lot of, overall project adoption happening. And if you guys see the title of this video, yes, a PayPal employee is now integrating his project onto Hedera, and we will talk about that here in a second. But I want to talk to you guys right now about Hbar being at the current state that it is, right? So we are currently under a ton of projects. We are actually under SafeMoon, which is, it's actually funny that we are. But this is what I was talking about, where we're seeing, not a lot of people are talking about Hbar. It's not getting a ton of publicity, right? And I've mentioned in my past, even talking about like DNT and stuff, right? Where not a lot of people are talking about it overall. That's when you want to buy a project, right? Hbar right now is nobody's really talking about this, and the people that are talking about it, it's very few. Like, I know Credible Crypto's talking about it. I'm talking about it. There's a few other people like HBarbarian and stuff. But for the most part, we don't have a large following. We don't have a ton of, community members talking about it. And I think that's the biggest issue right now is, this project's very early still in its stages. And, the price is reflecting that, right? We don't have a ton of volume flowing in. Right now, the volume is only $74 million, right? So we really got to see where this is going to go, but I definitely think that this is a top 10 asset. And, this bull run, I think that $10 is achievable. I think $3 to $6 is very achievable. I think that's very conservative as well. So, I think that we will definitely jump up in terms of the overall market cap, and I think that that will bring us to about that 25 to, even the top 10 mark for crypto. And let's jump into it, right? So this is pretty much what you guys have been waiting for. This is from Jonathan Padilla, and he doesn't mention in the actual, pretty much text here. He actually replied to it as a comment down below. But we see, as most folks know, I left PayPal last Friday. It was absolutely amazing opportunity to work with incredible people. Today, though, I'm ecstatic to announce the launch of Snickerdoodle Labs here in Miami at the largest gathering of blockchain and crypto leadership since the start of the COVID pandemic. With the close of our 2.3 million seed round led by Kinetic and including investors from Blockchain Capital LLC, Struck Capital, Zilliqa Capital, Tribe Capital, and Sam Bankman-Fried, among others, we're primed to do some amazing things. Snickerdoodle has pioneered the use of NFT technology to build a dynamically secure data economy that creates value for all stakeholders, including data owners. Through a tokenized architecture, Snickerdoodle will enable self-sovereign identity, giving individuals control over their identity in dynamic environments while safeguarding privacy. Further, Snickerdoodle will enable enterprises to interact with personal data with user permission and privacy at scale across multiple blockchains. We've assembled an amazing group of visionaries who want to reimagine the internet as it could be, investors and partners, and it's going to be an amazing ride, more to come. Now, the interesting part about this, right, because we have here him saying super excited to integrate with Hedera Hashgraph and all the amazing NFT plays on the protocol, which is confirming that they are working with Hedera. I know that they don't mention it in this, pretty much text here, but they are integrating with them, right? And we also see some investors and angels and advisors as well. Some interesting names that pop out to me are, first off, Zilliqa, because I'm very bullish on Zilliqa. I do hold quite a bit. And also FTX. And the reason why FTX is really jumping out to me is because we've talked about FTX in my last video, where we were saying, we do need some more overall volume, right? And FTX is a major exchange. It's actually one of the biggest exchanges for crypto. So technically, if FTX was to list Hbar, that would be huge overall. We also have, this tweet pretty much from Hbar Baron. This is where I seen it for pretty much list it, and I do want to say I just want to do a quick shout out for him. Definitely follow him if you guys do want more news and pretty much more content on Hbar. I figured I would give some credit where credit is due, but this is incredible. Nonetheless, we are seeing a lot more adoption for Hedera play out, and a lot of big names signing on as well, which is really cool to see. Now, let's talk about the price, right? Because we haven't talked about where Hbar is going to really go and, where we currently are, right? So I said that we need to reclaim this zone here, this 25 cent to 27.5 cents, if you will. And the reason why this zone is so important, right, is because that's where we were before this impulse up to almost the all-time high. Now, this is pretty much talking about before Bitcoin pretty much lost its overall support. And we were honestly ranging to go to that all-time high, as I mentioned multiple times. Now we're currently building out what almost seems to be a massive bull flag, right? If we actually look at it like this, right, it looks like almost a bull flag inverted, right? So, we could be looking for a massive jump into this zone here. Now, I don't think that it's going to take too much volume to get back into this stage. Like I said, the market is looking good. I think currently, right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 37.7K. And, things are looking like it's recovering from the tweets from yesterday. It wasn't technically tweets. I actually tweeted out that, it was pretty much a loss volume on Bitcoin that really shot us down. But yeah, I'm looking for this zone to be reclaimed. Once we could reclaim that, we could fight the resistance at 27.5 cents. Now, once 27.5 cents is broken and we reclaim this zone, then we could talk about mooning, right? Because this is where we would reclaim the 30-cent mark, get back into what was happening here, and that will increase the overall chances of us breaking the all-time high, because we still have to fight the resistance at this 41.3 zone here. Now, like I said, this could take some time. I mentioned multiple times when talking about this Bitcoin jump, or fall, I should say, for it to really jump back into support. We could get to about the 18th of June, which would be the full recovery process. It's almost about 2 weeks from our current price, which I think 2 weeks is more than enough time to recover. Now, by recover, I don't mean, hey, we're going to 50 plus K immediately, like we're going to pretty much be at 65K again after these 13 days. No, I'm talking about just recovering back into, that 45K level. And at that 45K level, it would bring Hbar back to where we were here, give or take, right? Because we could still see a little bit of choppiness in here where we remain at the low 35s. Now, at 35 cents, I'm more than happy because I was basically DCAing in here. And if anybody doesn't know what DCA means, it's basically just dollar cost averaging, where you pretty much invest whenever you see pretty much support reclaimed. Now, I technically sell resistance and buy support if the case is clear. On Hbar, I don't sell, right? This one, I'm not selling at these levels. I probably won't sell for at least another 10x from here, right? And I mentioned that. I mentioned $2 is where I will pretty much take out my initial investment and let it ride, because I think $10 is achievable. And even if I don't get to $10 this bull run, I know in 5 years that this could easily be worth 3 digits, right? I think that Hbar could be $100 plus. But we are still seeing a lot of growth with this project. I mentioned in my last video when we come over to Hedera's website, right? We could go here to Hbar itself and we could go to the overall overview of it. Now, in terms of this, right, we're still seeing the metrics aligning, right? We are seeing 4.5 million transactions per day. The latency, which is pretty much the finality time, is about almost 6 seconds. So a little bit slower than what they, their end goal is, which is at 3 to 5 seconds. But we are also seeing the accounts grow, right? We're at 270K accounts, which is great. Circulating supply is still increasing, as we know. It's going to increase. And that is another thing that I want to talk about. People were saying that the tokenomics for Hbar are garbage. I just want to say right now, there's nothing wrong with these tokenomics at all. There's no major people like holding this. Like CEOs are not holding like 50% of Hbar, and the released amount of Hbar per month is minimal to anything. So it's not going to affect the price overall. It's not going to hold us back from reaching standard prices that we're trying to, target. And, we are still seeing the project grow every single day. And we could see even here on the network, we could also see the network metrics, which I mentioned in my last video, right? We're still growing in volume for transactions, but also accounts overall. So I think it's only a matter of time before we break out of this. I think it's like 80 days now. So let me see. Yeah, it's like 82 days. So, this is going to only continue on a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you and say that, this is going to pretty much be over like tomorrow. No, because I think that we could still hit 95 days of total consolidation, and we could even hit possibly 100 days of trading sideways, which, hey, it shakes out the people who are impatient. That's why I say patience is key in this game. You have to have patience if you want to win. I know people who sold Matic at 35 cents at a loss because people were buying at 40 cents. They sold at 35 cents thinking it was just going to trade sideways forever. Then we got an impulse up. And I know Matic and Hbar are completely different projects, but at the same time, their charts look pretty much very similar to what it was before the pump. If we come over here, duplicate this chart, go back to Matic, right? And I just want to analyze this from this point of view here, right, where we were trading sideways. Now this is, let me go to the Binance chart. So again, this was an incredible time to be invested into Matic back here because you've still seen some major gains. Now, if you were invested back in January, because that's where my big buys for Hbar were, you still had to wait quite a bit of time. I think my first buy was around the 12th of January. So if we look here and we go to the date, and from the 12th to this stage here, it was 105 days of accumulating. It was pretty much 105 days of pure consolidation. Now, if we look here, we are currently in 95 days of consolidation if we get to that 18th of June mark without jumping out of this current price action that we are in. I just want to say, if you were buying here, right, you're pretty much almost there in terms of a jump in price. Now, if we were buying back here, hey, still be patient, right? Just be calm and remain, calm, collect yourselves, because we are preparing for launch. That's the same reason why I was saying, with Matic, with all these projects, you have to be patient. I'm sure people sold at this candle thinking, hey, 52 is probably the top for Matic. If you guys did the research on Matic, you know that Matic is going to $10. I think that this one is just beginning still. It has a ton of adoption behind it, and this one is a crazy hold. But the reason why I'm talking about Matic so much is the chart looks very similar here, right? If we zoom out, right, and say for so, I wish that I could pretty much copy the pattern from here to here, because the same movement here is going to happen. Even if we look here and let me do a bars pattern. Say for so we take it from this candle here to this one. even this little bit of jump to get us out of our choppiness, to get back into our full-on pump and hit this 45-cent all-time high, it would bring us to about 60 cents overall. And I think that this is what we're building for. And this will still take a little bit of time. Like I said, if we look here, that same pattern that we're building off of, which is this, now of course it's not the pattern here, we could pretty much trade sideways for a little bit, and at the end of this 18 or 13-day period that I'm still looking for to bring us to the 18th of June, that's where our parabolic rise will happen. See, Reclaim and Moon, this is where we basically break into this, trade a little bit of sideways, finally break out, reclaim this zone here, break above the all-time high, and then that's when we go. Now, again, this would be something very similar to this nice pattern here, but it would obviously still be the same kind of pattern here as well, because this is just almost a pure upward trend. Now, again, things like this don't work out perfectly. I can't just draw bars on a screen and say, hey, this is going to happen. I'm just saying I expect something very similar to this, which would be the same thing that we did back here overall, because we are still ranging to go higher in terms of price. We already know what Hbar does, why it's so bullish, and like I said, this one is one of my main holdings, and anybody who is holding Hbar growing impatient, just look at the statistics of the project, do some research, and you'd understand why this one is a very easy hold nonetheless. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. If you guys do want more free content, you guys could follow me on Twitter at NCashOfficial, and you guys could also join the free Discord down in the description below. You guys could join it. Price predictions and everything are included for free. But nonetheless, this has been Nick. I hope that you guys are having a beautiful day and a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. Peace out.